Hello and welcome to Season 7, Episode 4 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, I have two live comms. The first one is an away game against Nottingham Forest, and then we're at home to QPR to round out November. Before we get into that though, let's have a look to see how the last month or so in-game has been happening. So, it's been difficult. We're struggling to get this system to work. I've played around a little bit with the possession one. I think this game against Brighton was the last time I tried to play the possession. In fact, no, it wasn't. I abandoned the possession system after the last episode. Went back to last season's tactic. It was the exact 4-3-3 that we used last season with the wingers. And we went away to Brighton, drew 1-1. We didn't play too badly, but we also weren't particularly impressive. So I tried something a little bit different in the next game against Burnley. Between those two games, I'd had the squad come to me and say they weren't happy with the way I was managing the club, moaning at me, asking for a change in tactics. So I thought, you know what? When I first came here, the intention was to play the 4-2-3-1 that I used at Exeter to success when we got promoted. So why not give that a try? So I've given it a few tweaks from the one that we had at Exeter, just really trying to suit the players that we've got at the club. I'll show you it properly in a minute. But this is the team that we put out against Burnley, and we finally won a match. I think this was our first win in 6 or 7 games. Goals from Arba Kraja and Andre Dezel. They're two players who have really benefited from this change to the system, along with Sebastian Kirk, Jan-Erik Delanley, Thierry Ambrose. They're all playing really, really well. Unfortunately, Lassivin Christensen doesn't play as well in this system. The fullbacks aren't anywhere near as effective in this system. And we do seem to be leaking a few more goals, as you'll see in a second. At the end of October, though, the board was still pleased with my performance. My position at the club was secure. I can't remember if secure is better than stable. I think secure is probably down a notch from stable. Maybe? I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up. Let me know in the comments. What's better, secure or stable? I need to know if I'm getting closer or further away from the sack. We used the same system again in the next game at home to Huddersfield. We won 2-1. We actually played really, really well in this game. It was a bit of a shame to see Huddersfield get that goal back. And the game was odd. It was still pretty much end-to-end from there. It's very exciting football that we're playing now. Creating lots of chances. As you can see, 23 shots, 10 of them on target. Sooner or later, the attacking play is going to click and Thierry Ambrose is going to go on a run of goal-scoring form. We re-signed Peter Phillips, who was on loan with us for the second half of last season. He's the youngster from Liverpool. His natural position is as a wing-back, which is odd. You don't see a lot of that. But, look at his stats. He should be able to play as a full-back. He's only competent there, but as a backup for Haidara, while Knudson's injured, I couldn't think of anyone better. And we're trying to retrain him to play as an out-and-out left-back. If and as and when he is able to do that, he should be able to even come into the side ahead of Haidara and maybe even give Knudson a run for his money when he's fit again in sort of March, April time. This one was a little bit disappointing. Crystal Palace are 23rd. You saw at the start of the season they spent a huge amount of money in pre-season, like £30 million, but they have just been rubbish. But they decided to have whoever Lucas Hinterseer is, he decided to score 4 goals. There's not a lot we can do about that. We had 4 clear-cut chances. They had 1. We had the lion's share of the possession. We had twice as many shots as they did. We played incredibly well. Our average rating was higher than theirs. But Hinterseer just had the game of his life, and no matter what we did, we couldn't get back into the game. Positives to take from it: Thierry Ambrose got 2 goals. Sebastian Kirk is loving playing in the advanced playmaker role behind him. He just wasn't cutting it as a left winger for us in the 4-3-3. He is a completely different player playing behind a striker. So very happy to have discovered that he's not the terrible signing I was afraid he would be. Andre Dezel is back to his best as well, playing really, really well. I'm actually using him as a deep-lying playmaker, which I shall show you in a second when we look at the tactic. So this is the league situation. 17 games into the season. We've just had the November international break. We're not doing too bad. We're only 4 points outside the playoffs. Hopefully, we're now going to start to discover a little bit more form. And I would like to think by the time the transfer window comes around, we'll be back at least challenging for a top 6 spot, if not established back in a playoff position. Good to see Posh absolutely storming it top of the league. Less good to see that since the change in system, the 2 players I had in the average rating chart have fallen out of that. It's weird. We seem to be playing better as a team, but the individual performances aren't as good. So I suppose I'd rather see us win rather than having lots of really top performing players. It would be nice to have a balance of the two, though. If I can somehow figure that out, we'll be laughing. So this is the tactic that we've been using for the last few games. So slight changes in personnel because of fitness and various things. So we have been playing Andre Dazelle as the deep line playmaker on support, but he's picked up a knock. He's out for a week or two. So Emir Hughes comes back into the side. He's been the big victim of this change to the system. Bringing in an extra attacking player has meant we've had to sacrifice him, so it'd be good to have him back in the side. But I've tried to set the system up so it really plays to everybody's strengths and gets us close to a whatever that's called. What is that? Position ability? Yeah, gets us close to a full position ability circle as possible. So I've played both of the central midfielders as deep line playmakers, which sounds insane, but Dazelle has been playing really, really well as a deep line playmaker on support. Christensen, his ratings haven't been great, but he's still controlling the game. It's playing on defence is letting him still get some tackles in as well, which he never did before. So that seems to work. Then we've got Sebastian Kirk, an advanced playmaker in front of them on support, and I've put him on support to allow us to put Thierry Ambrose as a complete forward on attack, which we've never done the whole time he's been at the club. He's always been on support, but I'm hoping that with the two wingers both on attack as well and playing as wingers, it's usually Abakraja, but he's come back from the international break, not really fit, so Sterling comes in today. But with those two on support, they're getting up alongside Ambrose. Kirk is occupying this space sort of in the gap behind the three of them. It's more like a front three with Kirk behind when you see it in action. And because both of these players are playing as deep line playmakers, they are just spraying the ball all over the place and creating lots of chances. So it's looking really good. The one thing that's not so good is defensively. We've not been great. I'm still playing with Stefano Milani in goal. There's really not a lot between these two goalkeepers. In an ideal world, I'd bring in a proper championship goalkeeper in January, probably send Milani back at that point, and give Mika another season as a backup keeper. I'll probably rotate them back around again in a few weeks. I don't want to do it game by game, but if I give them sort of 8 to 10 games each in blocks, just to rotate them around, give them both some game time, it's the best I can do, I think, in the circumstances. The back four, not really happy with this at all. Dane's come back from international duty injured, so Dominic Ball's having to come back into the side. Jan Zeman has been a fantastic signing and is doing really well. Not really impressed with the fullbacks, but they're all I've got. And that's that. Oh, and also, if we have a quick look at team instructions, so you see what we're doing there. These are the team instructions from last year. Nothing has changed on there. So we're trying to work the ball into the box. We're looking for overlap. We're playing out defence, preventing short goalkeeper distribution, and playing fairly wide. And because it's so similar to last season's system, we're already fluid in it as well, which hopefully is helping. But let's get into the game. Who on earth are we giving a squad number to? Oh, of course, Peter Phillips. Forgot all about him coming back. So might try and get him into the side at some point today. Let's see how Haidara gets on. But because we're playing with an attacking fullback on that side, that should really suit Phillips. And he's a better player than Haidara. But let's get into this match. First of two, obviously. I'm not entirely comfortable going away from home and playing such an attacking system. But I'm still scarred from last season whenever we tried to play counter-attacking away from home, certainly in the second half of the season, we were just getting battered. So I think we're certainly much stronger going forward than we are defensively. I don't know that we've got the personnel to be able to go away from home, sit behind the ball and hit teams on the break. And if I don't think we're capable of doing it, it seems a bit silly to set the team up to play that way. So we're going to go to places and just try and score more goals than they do. Sometimes it will work. Sometimes Crystal Palace will happen. And despite us absolutely dominating the game, they'll score one more than we do. But I don't mind being one of those exciting teams that scores a lot and concedes a lot. It's kind of how our squad is going to be set up to be at the moment. And that is a beautiful cross from Emmanuel and a really nice finish from Thierry Ambrose. He's enjoying being pushed that little bit further forward. He's basically got the licence to go out there and just do his thing now and score a lot of goals. And he's certainly loving having crosses being put into the box again because it just suits his style of play. And that's a really tidy finish. So there we are, 1-0. Hopefully the first of many. It would be real. I can't remember the last time I had an episode where we played really well in one of the live comms. So it'd be nice to get that today. I'd love to score 3 or 4 goals and show you that I'm not an incompetent buffoon. Look how deep Lasse Christensen is there, by the way. He's playing as a normal central midfielder on defend, but he was dropped back between the 2 centre-backs. And I don't really know why he's doing that. I've not specifically asked him to, but I like it. I don't know. Is that just his general footballing intelligence? He's realising we don't have a holding midfield player now and sort of taking it upon himself to drop back there. I don't know if that's something that happens in Football Manager, but it's certainly helpful. Got a corner here. Ambrose can't quite get there. How are we doing? We're dominating for possession. Other than that, it's much of a muchness. They've had a few more shots than we have, but most of them have been off target. It's a fairly even game so far. We've had the one clear-cut chance, which we scored, and rightly are in the lead. But Ambrose is through here, but slows things down when he didn't really need to. He's very, very quick, but he doesn't use it very often. Probably because I've got him on as a complete forward, and that's pretty much a carbon copy of our goal. It's coming off the other wing, but other than that, that's identical. Their fullback's putting a cross. I assume this is their fullback because he's come from very deep. But he's stuck in the cross, and their centre forward has got him behind our back line. It's been 2 identical goals at either end. How do you defend against that? I was really happy. I wasn't questioning their defence when Ambrose scored one. Should we be sitting a little bit deeper? Would that stop that from happening? Should we be closing down the fullback? Or is it just one of those things? Sometimes you'll get a good cross and a good finish. I think that's probably it. I'm not going to worry too much about it at this stage. If it keeps happening, I might start worrying about it. But on the whole, fairly happy with how things are going so far. The way our season's been going so far, I'm pretty happy to come away from home and not get battered at the moment. I can't remember where Forest are in the league. In fact, we're getting to that point of the season. I know we're not quite halfway yet, but I don't think it'd hurt to start having the league table on now. Oh, for goodness sake, Football Manager. Just let me put the league table on. There we go. So let's stick that back on. Forest, see, they're around about where we are. So if we can avoid losing today, I'd consider that a good result. I'm not coming here expecting a win. I'd just like to not get embarrassed. So we seem to be doing okay so far. The one thing that has surprised me about this system is just how much possession we're getting with it, because it's not really a possession-based system. But teams certainly seem to be letting us have the ball. I don't know if that just means we're not very threatening. Right, we don't really want them to be attacking. Oh, no, come get the ball away. Someone needs to get a tackle in. I couldn't even see the number of who that was on their player. Was it Haidara, maybe? Ambrose has got nobody with him. But Sterling eventually makes it there to support. Considering how fast Sterling is, he really should have made better progress there. Ambrose finds Delanley, but Delanley can't finish. Right, let's make some substitutions. The traditional 68th minute substitute. Right, Delanley's not having a good game, so straight away we can take him off. I thought I didn't have enough substitutes then. So I'm going to bring Miraglia on for Delanley and just sort of shift things around a little bit with the rest of the midfield. I think we'll do that. Miraglia likes playing there, so the more game time we can give him there, the better. Kirk's also not having a particularly good game, but I don't really have anyone to bring on for him. What have I done with the bench here? Why have I not got another attacking player? Who's injured? Tommy Orrs. Oh, Kraja, that's why. I knew I was missing a player because he's injured as well, so I don't really have another winger. So Kirk's going to have to stay on. What I might do is bring Danny Drinkwater on for Emir Hughes. And we'll do that. And then we'll see how we get on. Just to get a few fresh legs in midfield. Drinkwater's had a little moan here and there about not getting enough game time. So give him a chance to go out and impress. While Dazell's injured, it's the ideal time to get him on the pitch. Obviously, we're playing with one less central midfielder now. So it's going to be even harder for him to get in the side. Right, Keziah Sterling is battered here. What's up with him? Potential upper body injury. What on earth could that be? We don't really have anyone to bring on. What can Drinkwater do? He can play further forward. What about Benyu? Can you do that? Right, so I guess we bring Benyu on and push Drinkwater up out onto the wing. It's not ideal, certainly not what I signed him to be doing. Is there any better position he could be doing out there? I don't really want another advanced playmaker. What's a Raumdeuter? I've only ever used... Oh, this is the wide... No, it's not the wide target man. What is it? Like a wide poacher. Oh, why not give a Raumdeuter a try? Did I use this with Lee Novak when I was at Exeter? I feel like I've clicked it before, but still don't really know what it does. But we'll give Drinkwater a go as a Raumdeuter. I probably said that wrong. Apologies to anyone who knows how to pronounce it correctly. Right. I'm pretty happy for it to end at this point, actually. 1-1 away to Forest, would consider that a good result. Obviously 2-1 to us would be even better, so if we can get that crossing and Ambrose finishes, it's Emmanuel to Ambrose again. They've linked it twice. My assistant manager keeps trying to get me to switch Emmanuel to be a limited fullback on defend. But he's such a good crosser of the ball. I don't really get it. I don't know what else is wrong with his stats that means he shouldn't be playing as a supporting fullback. Because I'd hate to take those crosses off of him. Right, should we be going more defensive? In fact, bearing in mind the players we've got on the pitch, we could fiddle with this a little bit and do like a narrow Christmas tree. That's what I'm aiming for. So Kirk prefers to play... Why won't you let me do what I want to do? So put you there. Put you there. Drop Drinkwater a little bit deeper. I want one of these lads to be a ball-winning midfielder, really. That's what I'm trying to achieve with these changes. Are any of them any good at it? Not really. Right, let's have Benyu in the middle, chasing around as a ball-winning midfielder. On defend. And then... I mean, I acknowledge I've probably got too many playmakers on the pitch now. But... what the heck? I'm probably throwing it away here, aren't I? Let's go to standard. I don't want to drop back the counter because we're rubbish at it. But hopefully, just by packing the midfield just that little bit more, we might just hold on. I'll probably just throw the game away. Let me know in the comments why that was a stupid thing to do. Although Ambrose is through here, there's no one really to support him. Emmanuel, though, is up again supporting. Maraglia now, he can... Oh, and Kirk tucks it away. There you go. The two attacking playmakers combine. And Sebastian Kirk's got his first goal for the club. That puts us up to 9th place. Assuming we can hold on to this now. They've combined quite well there. Oh, and look at that. An overhead kick from the edge of the area. That doesn't happen in live comms for me. That's got to be a goal of the month contender, surely. You don't score overhead kicks from there. I don't even know why he was attempting it. He had plenty of time to control it and have a normal person shot. Ambrose again. Surely we can't get a fourth. No, it's more likely they're going to come and score, I think. But hopefully they don't have time to score two. Oh, that sort of hit the post and stuck there. I assume we're on a rain-soaked, boggy pitch, and that's why that's happened. But Kirk's found Haidara, and that is a fantastic result. Really happy with that. So let's give a team talk saying we're happy. And we will fast forward to the next game. Right, second live comm of the episode then. We're at home to QPR. We're pretty much unchanged. Dazelle and Tommy Orr actually had fitness tests but failed them, so they're not going to be involved. Kazai Sterling picked up a knock in training in midweek, so luckily Arbikraja is fit again, so he comes straight back into the side on the left wing. Other than that, we are unchanged. Only other notable thing is that I've brought Simon Beale up from the under-21s. He's one of the players we signed in the summer. He's had a couple of spells out on loan already this season. No goals in 7 games at Scunthorpe, but 1-1 at Yeovil. He can play as a centre-forward, attacking midfielder, right-winger, just to give us a few more options going forward. I don't want to have to stick Danny Drinkwater out on the wing again. That's what I'm thinking. So hopefully it's just going to be a one-game thing. If Tommy Orr's already taking fitness tests, he should be back soon, which will be a massive boost because obviously he plays really well as a winger like he did all last season. Hasn't had the opportunity to do it yet this year, but will hopefully pick up where he left off, scoring lots of goals again. So hopefully that'll be in the next game or two. But for today, Beale can do a job before hopefully being sent back on loan again in January because he's certainly not ready for our first team. There's no goals in 7 games for Scunthorpe. I mean, what's he thinking? They're only in League One. Thinks I'm only looking at his Yeovil record. Don't even know why he only played one game. I don't understand why we've conceded a goal after a minute and a half either. Oh, hang on, it's QPR. We always lose to QPR. It probably wasn't even worth showing this match because QPR, they're just our bogey team. I mean, to be fair, they've done really well there. Haidara massively out of position though. The calls for Peter Phillips to come in at left back get ever louder. He needs to hurry up and retrain. I don't really want to play him there when everyone's telling me he can't. Milani does really well there. He must know his run in the side is coming to an end. So he's got to play out of his skin to avoid Mika jumping back into the side. I always said sort of early December time as Mika's returned to the side, give him a little bit of a rest and come back. So Milani, you're on borrowed time. I need a man of the match performance from you today if you're going to be playing against Fulham in a couple of days. We're not really getting anything going forward, are we? QPR are passing the ball around really well. I mean, they're only fourth in the league. I don't understand how they didn't go up last year. I guess they messed up the playoffs. I don't understand how they're not running away with the league this year. I mean, they're 7 points behind Posh. I guess they just play their absolute best against us. Oh, Kraja with the header there. I didn't know he had that in his locker, but that was a good header. Interesting. It does say on his stats that he should be able to play as an inside forward. So, no, Kev, don't play inside forwards. How many times are you going to mess around with that? You know it doesn't work. But I like playing inside forwards. They're fun. They score lots of goals when they work. Yeah, but they've not worked in 7 seasons. Don't do it. Wingers work. Wingers work with Thierry Ambrose, and he's the star man. He should get 25 goals this season. You should be able to sell him for lots of money. We need a goal here, so I'll stop talking to myself. Right, Christensen finds Kirk. He beats his man. And then it looked like he was going to try and beat the same man again. But that's a good ball from Hughes to Kraja, who finds Ambrose. And that is a fantastic finish. They gave him so much time to pick his spot there. What were they thinking? I mean, Kraja does really well to get him behind. It was a lovely ball from Emir Hughes. And look at all the time. They've given Ambrose time to turn around, have a good look at the goal and just pick his spot. They're clearly not aware who they're dealing with there. You give him that much time and space in the area, he is going to score every single time. Cue him missing a sitter in the 90th minute to equalise or something. That is not a bad first half performance against QPR. Fairly even for possession, fairly even for shots, pretty much dead on even for average ratings. Yeah, they've had 2 clear-cut chances, we haven't had any, but how you can't call what Ambrose's goal a clear-cut chance, I do not know. Who am I to argue? Right, come on, let's build on this. We can snatch another goal here. Be nice to finally see him. Maitland-Niles. Never heard of him in real life, but I do know they spent about 10 million quid on him. Guess that's why. I mean, I'm not even sure what position he's playing. What is he, number 12? I guess he's playing in midfield then, based on how deep he's picked the ball up. But we had nobody on him, and I guess, yes, he's playing central midfield. He's the runner from deep that Emir Hughes would have picked up if he was still playing as a holding midfield player. Tactical genius. See, yeah, Hughes looks like he's trying to mark him, but he's got away from him again. Perhaps I need to put him man marking him, but then that takes Hughes out of the play going forward, and we've already seen how impressive he can be with his passing and how it created a goal for us. So I'm loath to stick him on man marking duty. It's not really my style. Right. Oh, it's going to bite me in the backside again now. I mean, look, they can score goals like that. We can't score goals like that. This lot need to get out of the Championship. They're spoiling it for everybody. They're cheating with all the money they're spending and having players who can do that. I mean, how do you compete with that? I had a transfer budget of 350,000 this summer. I wasn't able to buy a player. They spent £30 million. I mean, imagine what I could have done with £30 million. They're just making us look silly now. Oh, they're passing it around us like we're not there. How are they not top of the league? I don't understand. Milani needs to understand this was his last game for a while. Mika's back midweek, because some of these shouldn't be going. I don't think this should have been a goal, really. This is just it's just poor goalkeeping. It's a well placed shot, but we're 4-1 down after an hour. We're at home. Well, we had one good game in the episode. Perhaps I just won't include this one, so you don't have to see me suffer. You've seen enough of me suffering over the last couple of months. Was it worth it? Yeah, let's take Kirk off and give Maraglia some game time. Let's take Emir Hughes off and give Drinkwater some game time. Let's watch QPR get another couple of goals. What has this done to our league position? This is going to be a long season. We're still in touch with the playoffs, though, so as long as that's the case, I have to remind myself how tight it was at the top last year and how this division seems to just be full of teams who are constantly beating each other, and it is rare for teams to get a good long run of games together. Right, I may as well have a look at Simon Beale. I brought him into the squad to give me another option in attacking positions. You never know. He might be a superstar. Let's give him 10 minutes on that right wing. He might get a hat-trick. What would I do if he got a hat-trick? I suppose he starts the next game then, does he? Who knows? Oh, no, they're going to score again. Brilliant. I should have taken Milani off and brought Mika on just to make it really clear to him that he was done. Because they've still only had 2 clear-cut chances. It's got dark. And, yeah, that really was poor goalkeeping that time. He should have come for that. He should have taken that cross. Or he should have stayed back and made the save, but he's just sort of got lost in no man's land between the two. Ambrose will hopefully score here to keep his confidence up. No, that's just... He did really well to beat his man, but sort of a toe poke, stretching for it, I guess. There's still much work to do. Promotion-chasing teams do not lose 5-1 at home. 5-2 at home still makes no difference. There's no point in attacking. Did I make a third substitution? Oh yeah, I brought Beale on. He made an impact then. Right. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's take the positives from the Forest game, because there were plenty. We played really well. Let's try not to look at the fact we've got to go to second place Fulham in 3 days' time, after just taking a complete spanking off of QPR. And let's hope I'm not sacked before the next episode. We'll have a quick look at the league table, because I'm a glutton for punishment. So there we are, 12th after 19 games. We're still only 3 points outside of the playoffs, which is nuts. Yeah, we've got to go to Fulham now, who are 11 points above us. I mean, that's more of a gap this year. It's a problem. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the future episodes, and thank you very much for watching.